Yeah.
Were you like literally laughing as he was coming out?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember like laughing and then being like, well, there's his head. And then I'm like, that's hilarious to me, right? Like that's like happening, that's working, but I'm like laughing my baby out. So I had decided that I wanted to do a home birth. I kind of knew that already going into it. And then we found a midwife early second trimester, and she happened to have an office just down the street from us. So that was perfect. And she had a flyer like hanging in her office. So when we started meeting with her and she started saying, well, you might want to take a birth class at some point. And my husband loves like bulletin boards. So she was looking at all the flyers anyway. And, peaceful birth method. Ooh, that sounds perfect, right? Like that's just what we want. Especially with a home birth, we really wanted to create, of course, you would want to, do this in the hospital or anywhere or a birth center too. But like just really wanted to create that peaceful environment, that way of bringing in this child to the world. There's like no one right way. And of course, people in the class are like doing home births or hospital births or birth center births, and you never know also what's going to happen and where you're going to kind of end up. Really appreciated actually doing the class and how balanced you were with like, well, it can be this thing or it can be that thing. These different things can happen. There's like no one right way. And of course, people in the class are like doing home births or hospital births or birth center births, and you never know also what's going to happen and where you're going to kind of end up. It felt really cool to like be sort of prepared for anything and advocating for what you need, like husband advocating for what the mom needs. And I feel like that kind of stayed with me during the birth too, like in a, like not in like a mental way so much, but just in the sense of, being in the class and going like, yeah, this is going to happen, right? Or like, we don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen. Then a baby's going to get out. And there's going to be a lot of kind of experiences and needs that need to happen along that path. And so just having that, like tuning into sort of what I will need and not necessarily being able to know that beforehand, but during the birth, I remember having this really clear sense of like, well, this needs to happen, and then just like being able to like say it into the space and, whoever in my birth team would be able to take care of it. There are several moments like that. Like I am a pretty confident person, but I can also have my times where I'm like maybe more insecure, maybe kind of not sure how I want something, or kind of trying to acquiesce to what somebody else wants to try to kind of maintain or create like good feelings there. And there is no acquiescing, there is no like doing what I think somebody else wants. It's gonna be all like what my sort of intuition and experience. And I remember you talking about like intuition as part of that too. I'm really grateful I didn't have any interventions or anything. Hearing about what the potential interventions could be and potential ways to like respond to that, or ways to say, well, I actually don't want that, or I don't want that yet, or because of course you don't know, especially with a home birth, like you hope that you're going to have the baby at home, but you never know. And so just having that like preparation of like, if we went to the hospital, what would I need to be kind of prepared for? I was prepared from like the birth class and talking about it for this like kind of rocking, right? It's like, okay, well, he's going to come out a little bit and then kind of go back. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to get out of the bath. Because I had always kind of had this sense of like, I might not even want the birth tub. Like, I don't know, but let's have it as an option. I was really glad I did. But I was kind of like, but I don't know that he's going to be born in the water necessarily. Like, that doesn't necessarily feel like what's going to happen. And so eventually I like got out of the birth tub with a lot of help. And then I actually ended up like doing kind of like an intuitive sort of half squat with like one leg up. And then I remember like I changed to the other leg. And I do remember actually one like specifically like remembering spinning babies. I did like I had like a person come to our house and like talk us through that like maybe a couple weeks before this, and we talked about it a little bit in the birth class with you. There was a little bit of like just those things where I would think, well, this is happening just exactly perfect, like this is like, yeah, oh yeah, I remember like hearing that this thing was going to happen this way, or not necessarily this way, but just that this might happen. So it was really cool how everything just felt right. I feel like laughter is helpful for this, like in this position. And so I actually like started laughing, and that was like what finally got him to like come out.
So you
And
laughed your baby out.
I did,
Were
yeah.
you like literally laughing as he was coming out?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember, like, laughing and then being like, "Well, there's his head," and then I'm like, "That's hilarious to me," right? Like, that's, like, happening, that's working, but I'm, like, laughing my baby out, and then I, like, continue laughing, and he comes out the rest of him. I mean, it was only 10 and a half hours from that, like, I gave birth to him at 10:30 from a water breaking at midnight, so I felt really like fortunate in that way that I was able to just listen to my body and let it do its thing, and and also like be able to project all these instructions at other people to sort of help support that